Okay, got the trees positioned where I want to dig the holes, and we'll plant them. This already has a nice blackberry cane patch. Look at those. Yeah, everyone should have a fence of blackberries between them and their neighbors. Especially neighbors you're not so thrilled with. But this is the entrance circle. And then that's where we normally go in. There's the chicken coop. I neglected them yesterday. I was so busy. I need to harvest the eggs. Gather the eggs from yesterday. But also have some wild grapes here. That's the cherry. It's a self-pollinating, plum. And then I've got the 4 Dwarf Pink Ladies. Oops, that one just fell. There they go. Alright, it's alright. They're going to be taken out of the containers. Oh man, I'm glad I got the photos before they all dropped. And then the 2 pomegranates are right there. And the chestnut tree, this is the one that had to be pulled out of the cinder block, and it may have just gone in shock and may come back. I'm going to let it be, and if it survives it's going to have to be transplanted because this tree is just going to get huge and we want it to. And eventually the goats will be moved down 3 terraces, and that oak will have to go. I know my husband hates losing these big oaks, but this is going to be my orchard for the most part of things I want to keep. I got another hose so I can reach up here and water all these easily. Buckets of manure. That hole's been pre-dug where we're going to put another chestnut when I change my mind about putting them both up here, putting 2 up here. So that one should be easy. The rest of them is going to be a workout. That terrace it's got some topsoil on it at least, but it's probably packed clay as well as all these terraces were done because it was a slope. It just went down from here to where the gully is, where we had that creek during the floods. And I still have to decide where to put the witch hazel. But I may just put them in a big planter for now. And until we can get the soil conditioned better in certain areas. But this is going to be our orchard. And behind me, okay, finally started leafing out. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is. I had some friends say that it might be a wild cherry tree. It's not the same cherry trees that we have normally growing that's just like weeds out here. If it is a cherry. And it might, I don't know, I haven't properly identified this. I thought it was a dead tree because it had nothing on it, and then all of a sudden it bloomed and now it's starting to leaf out. So that gives me some characteristics to help identify it. And the blooms were they were pretty and kind of feathery. They had petals and a lot of what looked like hairy things around them. And now that the petals have dropped and the hairy stuff is kind of withered. So if it is a fruit tree we want to keep, it can stay right there. And eventually these other trees will have to come down. And they got nice, they got an area there to fall. Hate losing these big ones, and we got time to years before they may have to come down. And then over there, the previous owner was doing a vineyard, had some fence posts and wire, and I need to rebuild that and try to grow those. I'm not sure if they're muscadine or scuppernongs. Muscadines are the purplish, reddish ones. Scuppernongs are the ones that stay green, yellow. Scuppernongs. Still getting all the pronunciation, but like I said, we still got plenty of wood, so we don't need to worry about firewood or stuff for the fire pit and fireplace here. for quite a while. We got plenty to work with. So when we're ready for some, we can start taking them down as we need to and getting them dried. Let's see. And physically, I don't know how much I can do before I have to stop. I may just, I'll do what I can. I'm going to start at the upper levels and work my way down and get everything water. I'm going to dig a hole, water the hole, dig the next hole while the water drains. And before I put the horse manure into the holes, and before I plant the trees, and then get some more, probably would need to get some more horse manures, but these are my only empty buckets right now to haul them with. And I think I may just be a little smarter and put them on the back of the car and bring them up to this level and just, come up here and walk from over here instead of I was carrying them from the where you see the shovel standing up over there. And then I gotta get ready for Seder dinner. Get cleaned up and clear the table, make it pretty, and get the food prepped for dinner tonight. We don't do Easter. We do a Christianized Seder dinner, but since we don't have kids tonight, I don't think we're going to do the reading. We may read out of the book of Exodus and read about the Passover and talk about it, but since it's just for adults, no children, it takes some of the fun out. And my grandkids can't be here tonight, so I'll deal with it. Put my big girl panties on and act like an adult when I don't want to act like an adult. That's what being an adult is. Still doing the right thing when you don't want to. Don't feel like it. Feel like being a 4-year-old having a tantrum. I get that feeling a lot lately, and I'm blaming it on menopause, but I think that's the way I've always been, and I'm just getting better about not doing it. Oh. And we do need to move the girls. They have been up there for months now. I only wanted them in that spot for 3 weeks, and then had them move over here for 3 weeks into this area, and then move them down until taking months to get them into their permanent location, and then having a quarantine area for any new goats, and having them there for at least 3 weeks before putting our girls with them for breeding, or putting a new girl, which I can't see us getting more than 3 dairy goats once we get these freshened. Oh, again, getting overwhelmed. Here's the first hole. More time how fast it takes to drain, like that's going to make any difference, but I wanted to just see. So later on, if the tree does well or doesn't do well compared to the other ones, I've got something to learn from. It was easy to dig. It wasn't packed clay. It looks like a mixture of the clay and some sand. So it was not hard for me. I did it just fine. Got in about 1.5 to 2 feet in the center. And I'll backfill with the horse manure, and then before planting, when this drains, it's already going down a good bit, so the drainage is good. So on to the next hole. I cannot believe it. A little over an hour, I got 6 trees planted. There is no way. I tried. It's like, I will call it quits on that area until my husband can get a backhoe and get into that. I couldn't go 2 inches into the ground. It was packed. It was hard. Since he'd already done that earlier, I was able to dig in without once I got past the top hardened layer, it was just like an inch or so of crust, and then underneath it wasn't too bad, although he had run over the hole with the tractor, and that had packed it in on one side of the hole. But that wasn't too bad either. So everything but one apple tree got planted. Everything was pretty easy. It didn't drain as well as I had hoped, so I went ahead and when it was about half filled, I put the bucket of horse poop, and that got it to the right height to plant the trees to where they would be in, or a little bit lower in some cases. So, and like just a little over an hour, I am soaking wet. Didn't spray myself, just from glistening. And my arms are feeling it, my back is feeling it, and I'm happy. I'm very, very happy about all this. I'm so thrilled that things are, at least my orchard plan is somewhat what I was envisioning. And it just feels good that wasn't too off the mark. But now I'm going to water, it's going on 11:15. I'm going to water the containers, and then later I'll bring the hose back up here and water again later this afternoon when it's really hot, and get the other chestnuts and get some water to the ones on the east side. And then I still need to collect the eggs from the chickens and do my animal stuff, my chickens, take care of them, and get the Seder dinner started. Another full day, good day. I'm happy. Thanks for watching.